She was alone by everyone's choice. He chose to sit down anyway. Evan Mercer strode into the mess hall, tray in hand, and headed straight for the table. Everyone avoided. Chatter died. Forks paused mid-air. 100 eyes locked on him, scaled, feathered, furred from every species docked at Station Epsilon 7. He ignored them. Set his tray down across from Sailry with a solid clunk. The alien technician froze, her 4 slender arms hovering over her untouched nutrient paste. Her iridescent blue skin gleamed under the harsh lights, scarred with the ritual brands of her clan's exile. Black spirals that marked her untouchable. Evan pulled out his chair. Saturday picked up his spoon. The silence stretched, thick as engine grease. Sailry's wide black eyes flicked up, then down. She wrapped 2 arms around her bowl. The other 2 gripped her tray edges. In one fluid motion, she rose. "Don't," Evan said, voice casual over his first bite of synth beef stew. "Plenty of room." She hesitated. Her mandibles clicked softly, a nervous tick he'd read about in the liaison briefings. Then, she packed her paste, turning to leave. Evan slid his water bulb across the table. It stopped precisely in front of her spot. Sailry stared at it. No one touched outcast leavings. Custom forbade it. Her people enforced it harder than station regs. Footsteps thudded behind him. A steward loomed, stocky Vexari with quills bristling. "Human. That table's reserved." "Move," Evan chewed. Swallowed. Station code 4.2.7. Mess facilities open to all rated personnel. No reservations posted. The steward blinked. "Custom isn't code." Evan tapped his datapad, projecting the reg hologram between them. Blue text glowed. Asterisk. Access unrestricted by clearance or affiliation. Asterisk. Murmurs rippled through the hall. A cluster of Sailry's kin. Tall. Blue-skinned techs from the same clan ship glared from their corner booth. One whispered into a comm. Sailry hadn't moved. She eyed the water bulb like it might explode. The steward snarled. "Dockmaster Hurok enforces times practical times order here. You'll bunk with trash if you push." Evan met his gaze. Kept eating. "Practical order cites code 2. Or, does Epsilon 7 run on vibes now?" Laughter barked from a human table. Mira Vance, his crewmate, leaning back with her boots up. She'd warned him in the corridor. Asterisk Evan. That's the curse-marked table. Her own eat alone, work alone. Poke it, and Hurok'll dock your pay. Now she grinned. Nodded once. The steward flushed purple. Stomped off toward the overseer's booth. Sailry sat, slowly. Picked up the bulb. Sipped. Evan nodded. "Good call. Paste sticks worse than hull tar without it." Her mandibles parted. No sound came. Then, halting common. "Why?" "Thirsty," he said simply. Spooned more stew. She probed the bulb again. Tentacles at her wrists, fine manipulators for circuit work twitched. "Contact. Pollutes. Not for humans." He wiped his mouth. Evan Mercer. Cultural Liaison. Asterisk. Endeavor Times. Crew. You? Sailry. Grade 3 Technician. Her voice hummed low, like thruster hum. "You break protocol. Protocols flex." He pushed a bread roll her way. "Try this. Real yeast, not printed." She recoiled. But hunger won. One tentacle snagged it. Nibbled. Eyes widened. "Organic? Ship's hydroponics. Best on station." The hall thawed. Conversations restarted, but eyes darted their way. Sailry's clan booth seethed. A female kin stood, gesturing sharply. Dockmaster Hurok emerged then. Massive Krell, armored hide creaking, badge gleaming. He lumbered over, shadow swallowing the table. "Mercer." Hurok's voice boomed like docking clamps. "Steward reports disruption." Evan leaned back. Eating lunch, sir. Per code. Hurok's slit pupils narrowed on Silry. That one's segregated. Clan charter. Station honors it. Charter's advisory. Evan tapped his pad again. Binding regs say no. Epsilon 7 Charter. Section 12. Asterisk interference with rated personnel duties prohibited. Asterisk Saleries on repair rotation for Bay 9. Starving her slows manifests. Hurok grunted, claws flexed. Conformity keeps peace. Your normalcy stirs trouble. Salery stiffened. Set the bulb down. Dockmaster. I return to quarters. No. Evan shot her a look. Firm. Finish. You've got shift after. She blinked. 4 arms folded. One guarding the roll remnants. Hurok loomed closer. 1 meal. Human. Test me again. And your liaison pass gets revoked. Asterisk. Endeavor times. Walks. Understood. Evan held his gaze. Steady. Hurok wheeled away. Muttered into his comm. The steward slunk behind. Mira sauntered over as Hurok retreated. Dropped into the seat beside Evan. Ballsy, Merc. Told you Salery's clan cursed her for some tech heresy. Fixed a core wrong. Saved a ship, but broke purity rights. Now, poison by touch. Salery's tentacles curled tight. Evan shrugged. Saved a ship? Sounds competent. Quote. Mira snorted. To us? To them? Scielry stared at her paste. Pushed it aside. Competent. Fails. Alone. Not anymore. Evan stood, tray balanced. Bay 9. Right? Walk with. I need a status on the Times. Endeavor asterisk seals. She rose, hesitant. Matched his stride. As they dumped trays, the hall watched. Whispers chased them. Asterisk. Human ignores marks. Outcast drinks his water. Asterisk. Outside, Mira clapped Evan's shoulder. You're stirring the pot. Hurok hates flexible. Pots need stirring. He glanced back. Scielry walked beside him, posture straighter. Prejudice runs on autopilot. Hit pause. Road. Roning. In Bay 9, Scielry unsealed the Times Endeavor asterisk's hatch. Her tentacles danced over panels, diagnostics flickering green. Evan handed her a tool from his belt. Their fingers brushed no flinch. Seal integrity 98%, she reported. Human alloy. Resilient. Team effort, he pointed. Your fix last cycle held through the jump. Saved us fuel. She paused. Mandibles clicked soft. No one. It says. Start now, he grinned. Next meal, your table. I'll bring yeast rolls. Salery's eyes gleamed. Protocol? Our protocol. Alarms blared then distant, from the clan ship docks. Shouts echoed. Mira calmed in. Evan, Hurok's calling a conformity audit. Your name's flagged. And Scielry's kin are mobilizing. Evan glanced at Scielry. She gripped her tool tighter. Shift just started, he said. We finish. She nodded. Tentacles flew faster. The station's machinery ground on. But at one table, one bay, it hitched just a little. Evan slammed the Times Endeavor asterisk's hatch shut. Salery's tentacles retracted from the panel. Green lights held steady. Done, he said. Alarms or not? She nodded once. Mandibles clicked. They strode into the corridor together. Crew eyes flicked their way quick, then away. Whispers buzzed like static. Evan matched her pace. Salery. That no-contact mark on your carapace. What's the rule exactly? 2. She halted. 4 eyes fixed on him. Tentacles coiled tight. Human. Stop. It invites exile for you too. He leaned against the bulkhead, crossed his arms. 1 meal a day. Your table. I bring food. No questions while we eat. Her mandibles parted. No sound. Eyes widened, one pair blinked slow. Why? Keeps it simple. Builds trust one bite at a time. Footsteps echoed. Mira rounded the corner, face tight. Evan. Hurok's summons hit your comm. Now. He's got the whole bay watching. Sailry's tentacles twitched. Go. Kin audit incoming. They enforce marks. Evan checked his wrist comm. Red alert pulsed. Asterisk. Report to Dockmaster Hurok. Immediate. Asterisk. Deal stands? He asked Sailry. She hesitated. One tentacle brushed his sleeve light. Testing. One meal. He grinned. Mira grabbed his elbow, pulled him toward the lifts. You're poking the clan, Elder. Hurok loves his order. Flexible. Gets you grounded. Evan shrugged. Order without sense breaks itself. The lift doors hissed open. Hurok waited inside, massive, scaled. Eyes like polished obsidian. His uniform gleamed with station insignia. Evan Mercer. Hurok's voice rumbled. No greeting. You ignore protocols. Endanger harmony. Evan stepped in. Mira hung back. Doors sealed. Harmony? Evan kept his tone even. Clarify. The infraction. Hurok's tail lashed once. Contact with marked outcast. Sailry's kin declared her toxin after the breach incident. No approach. No aid. No shared space. Lift dinged. They exited into admin deck. Crew parted like water. Hurok led to a stark chamber, gray walls. Holo projector humming. You attend conflict training. Hurok gestured. A trainer waited. Thin alien. Frilled neck pulsing. Public session. Learn conformity. Evan nodded. Pulled out his datapad. Thumbed record. Noted. Start the checklist. Hurok's eyes narrowed. This deters. Others watch via feed. The trainer activated the holo. A grid lit up. Asterisk protocol breach. Witnessed contact. Risk to order. Asterisk. Repeat after me, trainer said. Voice clipped. I acknowledge. Isolation preserves purity. Evan tapped notes. Isolation applied to Sailry only. Clan bays show groups sharing tools. No marks. Trainer blinked frills. Irrelevant. Her breach. Contaminated systems. Evan scrolled station logs, open access for liaisons. Log 47B. Sailry's repair on clan vessel times Vorak asterisk. No mark then. Praise from Elder. Hurok loomed closer. Focus on training. Evan held up the pad. Your checklist. Item 3. Document enforcement equity. Unequal here. Humans eat communal. Your crews too, except marked ones. Crew murmurs filtered through the comm feed. Trainer's frills flattened. Item 5. Evan continued. Risk assessment. Sailry's seals hold 98%. No contamination. Hurok snatched the pad. Logs are liaison only. Public deterrent, you said. Evan met his gaze. Logs prove it. Doors hissed. Mira slipped in uninvited. Evan's right. Asterisk endeavor. Times crew files protest. If he sits this out, Hurok thrust the pad back. Training ends. Dismissed. Evan pocketed it. Equity checklist signed? Evan. Evan. Equity checklist. Evan. Trainer signed with a trembling stylus. Hurok stormed out. Feed cut. Mira exhaled. You turned his trap inside out. Not over. Evan checked comm. New ping. Asterisk. Sailry kin assembly. Bay 9. Sealed. Asterisk. They bolted for the lifts. Corridors blurred. Alarms whooped again, sharper now. Bay 9 loomed. Clan warriors blocked the hatch 6, armored, tentacles armed with prods. Sailry stood inside, backed against the Times Endeavor asterisk. Her tool lay dropped, mandibles clenched. Evan Mercer. Lead warrior snarled. Kin claim. Outcast retreats alone. He pushed forward. Mira flanked him. She's station tech. Seals her job. Marked. Prod hummed. No aid. Marked. Sailry's eyes locked on Evan. Tentacles gripped a panel strut. Evan raised his pad. Logs show her essential. Hurok's training just cleared it. Warrior glanced at comm. Feed replayed Evan's notes. Trainer's signature. Hurok's voice boomed over speakers. Stand down. Equity enforced. Warriors parted. Grudging. Sailry exhaled. First time Evan saw her shoulders drop. He picked up her tool. Handed it over. Fingers brushed again. No. Pull away. Mealtime? He asked. Her mandibles clicked soft. Our protocol. Mira chuckled. Stirred the pot clean through. They walked out together. Whispers shifted. Asterisk. Human notes break marks. Outcast walks free. Asterisk. But in the mess hall later, Evan slid yeast rolls across. Sailry's table, no empty zone now. A few eyes watched. No prods. She broke one open. Steam rose. Tentacles portioned precise. No questions, he said. Took a bite of his own. She nodded. Ate slow. Eyes gleamed brighter. One table. One meal. Machinery hitched further. Dockmaster Hurok watched from the overlook. Pad clutched tight. His tail stilled. Evan caught the gaze. Nodded once. Hurok turned away. But slower than before. Next shift, Sailry waited at Bay 9. Tool ready. Evan grinned. Handed her the wrench. Team effort. Tentacles flew. Seals held. Station hummed. But prejudice? It stuttered. Mira calmed mid-repair. Hurok reassigned 2 warriors to patrols. Away from her bay. Good. Evan wiped sealant from his hands. Notes. Work. Sailry paused. You. Documented. Practical fix. He shrugged. Prejudice runs on autopilot. Data hits pause. Her mandibles parted in what passed for a smile. Kin whispers now. Human sees. Dawn. Dawn. Ton. Dawn. Ton. Ton. Alarms stayed quiet. Crew passed closer, no averted eyes. One meal became 2. Rolls turned to shared stew. No words needed. Hurok summoned again, private this time. No trainer. Equity logs spread, he rumbled. Clan elders query. Evan stood straight. Truth does that. Hurok's obsidian eyes bored in. You. Persist. Normalcy does. Evan tapped his pad. Sailry's output up 12%. Station wins. Silence stretched. Hurok's tail flicked. Mark protocols. Under review. Evan nodded. Left without another word. In the corridor, Sailry waited. Posture straight. Meal? Always. They walked side by side. Eyes followed, not with whispers of taboo. Curiosity now. Small acts. Normalcy. Trust built brick by bite. The station's machinery turned smoother. One outcast at a time. Evan slapped the sealed ration pack onto the scarred metal table in the mess hall. Sailry's 4 tentacles froze mid-air, hovering over her own nutrient tray. Human standard, he said. Vacuum sealed. No contaminants. Her obsidian eyes locked on the foil pouch. Mandibles clicked once. She extended a tentacle, probing the seal without touch. Open. Inspect. Evan nodded. Peeled back the tab. 4. Steam whispered out rice, protein strips, vegetable paste. He spread components on a sterile mat from his kit. Each piece isolated. Sailry's sensor tendril snaked forward. It hummed, scanning molecular bonds. Ultraviolet light flickered along its length. Protein matrix. Avian base. Acceptable. She nudged a strip aside. Paste. Fermented roots. Volatile acids detected. Matches label. Evan pointed to the printout taped to the pack. He waited, hands flat on the table. Minutes ticked. Her tendril danced over every grain. Crew glanced from nearby benches. Whispers died as they watched. No one rose to intervene. Clear. Salary retracted the sensor, pushed the mat back. Consume. Evan scooped rice first. Chewed slow. She mirrored with her own tray, crystalline shards crunching between mandibles. Silence stretched, broken only by the hum of recyclers. He swallowed. Good call on the scan. Never skip protocol. Her posture eased a fraction. Tentacles coiled looser. Clan law. Breach invites blight. Law's law. Evan forked a protein strip. Offered it across the gap. She hesitated, then accepted. Inspected again. Bit down. First shared bite. Eyes turned away. Mira Vance dropped her tray 2 benches over. Clatter echoed. Evan. Hurok circling the vents again. Watching bays. Evan glanced up. Kept chewing. Let him. Mira slid closer. Voice low. Taboos fraying, but pushed too hard. Sayelri's tendrils stiffened. She tested her shard pile with a fresh wipe-down cloth. Evan caught the motion. Pulled his own utensils, fork, spoon, knife from his belt pouch. Laid them flat. Show me, he said to Sayelri. Full protocol. Her mandibles parted slightly. Sensor tendril extended. She sprayed a fine mist from a vile antimicrobial fog. Waved it over his fork. Evan leaned in, eyes tracking every pass. Rotate, she demonstrated. He spun the utensil. Mist settled, evaporated clean. Now yours. He handed over his spoon. She repeated. Precise. No rush. Crew paused mid-bite. A Verac engineer stared openly. Evan took the cleaned fork, used it without flinch. Solid system. Borrowed for next shift. Salary clicked approval. Foot traffic clogged the aisle. 2 burly Krath crew loomed shoulder plates scraping bulkheads. They blocked the path to dispensers, tails lashing in low chatter. Sayelri's tray sat half empty. She shifted, tentacles bunching for flight. Evan stood. Casual. Bay traffic. Clear left in 3. He timed it, stepped into the gap as the pair turned. Dispenser queue. Right lane open. The Krath grunted. First one shuffled left. Second followed, tails parting. Aisle flowed again. Salary stayed seated. Tray untouched by the shuffle. Evan sat. Forked more rice. Smooth. Reroute. Smooth. Reroute. Calculated. Her voice hummed softer. No confrontation. Team play. He nodded to her tray. Finish strong. Finish strong. She crunched the last shard. Full meal. Beside him. First time. Clatter rose from the entrance. Dockmaster Hurok lumbered in. Obsidian eyes sweeping benches. Tail dragged deliberate. He paused at their table. Shadow fell long. Equity logs update. Hurok rumbled. Salary output. 18% gain. Anomalous. Evan met the gaze. Kept fork steady. Shared protocols. Cross-checks cut errors. Hurok's nostrils flared. Sayelri's tentacles coiled tight under the table. Evan felt the vibration through the bench. Clan elders convene. Hurok leaned closer. Contact breaches tradition. Mark, her bay restricted. Sayelri's sensor tendril twitched. Ready to scan threat. Evan tapped his pad. Projected holo. Repair charts. Timestamp synced. Station metrics first. Bay 9 uptime. Perfect. Preju customs. Secondary. Hurok's tail flicked sharp. Eyes bored into Sayelri. She held still. Unblinking. Review holds. Hurok turned. Lumbered out. No further word. Silence settled. Sayelri exhaled a hiss through vents. Mira calmed in Evan's earpiece. That was ballsy. He's signaling patrols back to her zone. Good. Evan cleared the mat. Packed remnants sterile. Data stacks. Sailry rose. Tentacles brushed his sleeve accidental. She froze, pulled back. Next shift, she said. Bay alloy seals. Human wrench? Always. Evan stood. They walked out together. Ale parted without block. Crew eyes followed. No averts. Nods from two techs. Next cycle hit fast. Evan jogged to Bay 9. Wrench in hand. Sailry waited. Tools arrayed. Hull breach incoming. Cargo drone glitch. Lead. He tossed the wrench. She caught it mid-tentacle. Tested seals. Green. They dove in. Her precision tendrils welded microfractures. His steady hands held plates firm. Sparks flew contained. Mira patched through station feed. Hurok's in ops. Elder's query live. Pushing for isolation, lockdown. Evan grunted over the hiss of sealant. Output trumps. Sailry paused mid-weld. They mark me untouchable. Always. Not anymore. He aligned the next plate. Eat first. Work second. Drone hummed, sealed. Bay lights steadied. Mess hall again. Evan dropped the ration pack double-sealed this time. Veggie heavy. Your scan. She inspected faster. Components gleamed under her light. Clear. Utensils out. Protocol mirrored. Mist sprayed in sync. Aisle clogged worse 3 crath now, arguing load manifests. Sailry tensed. Evan rose. Cargo priority. Left fork clear in 5. Dispenser backup online. They shifted like clockwork. Aisle breathed. Sailry stayed. 8 full. Tentacles relaxed across her bench. Hurok appeared mid-meal, flanked by 2 warriors this time. Elders rule. Contact quarantine. Sailry isolated. Bay reassigned. Evan set fork down. Clean. Metrics? Evan. Tradition. Hurok's tail lashed. Warriors gripped hilts. Sailry rose slow. Sensor out. Scanning. Mira burst through the hatch. Human stride-cutting line. Station auth override. Human delegation logged protest. Equity charter cross-species collab. Mandatory. Modicly. Hurok whirled. Crewmate interference. Backup. Mira slapped her pad down. Holo bloomed. Alliance accords. Fine print glowing. Output data attached. 22% station-wide from Bay 9. Warriors shifted. Uncertain. Evan stood beside Sailry. Shoulder to tentacle. Normalcy wins. Hurok's eyes narrowed. Tail stilled. Elders. Deliberate further. He waved warriors back. Exited. Sailry's mandibles parted wide. Smile equivalent. You. Documented again. Practical. Evan grinned. Team effort. Mira clapped his back. Taboos cracking. But Hurok's not done. Sailry nodded. Meal complete. They sat. Finished trays side by side. Crew benches filled closer. No gaps. Next shift alarm blared. Bay 9. Called emergency core conduit fail. Evan sprinted. Sailry. Already there. Tentacles flying. But Hurok blocked the hatch. Quarantine holds. Humans stand down. Evan halted. Sailry behind him. Tools ready. Station first, Evan said. Conduit groaned. Sparks spitting. Hurok hesitated. Elder's verdict incoming? Sailry pushed forward. Let him. Warriors tensed. Choice hung. Hurok's claws scraped the deck. Quarantine holds. Sparks showered from the conduit. Alarms wailed. Evan stepped aside. Sailry surged past. Tentacles uncoiling tools. She slapped a patch seal over the breach. Hiss of gas escaped. Human back, Hurok barked. Evan ignored him. Grabbed the secondary clamp from his belt. Handed it over. Sailry's mandible clicked approval. She locked it in place. Conduit stabilized. Lights flickered, steady. Warriors lowered hilts. Hurok's tail coiled tight. Elders fixed. Sayalri retracted tentacles. Wiped residue from her carapace. Station. Safe. Evan nodded. Teamwork. Hurok glared. Spun away. Warriors followed. Mira arrived, punting. Status? Clear. Evan clapped Sayalri's shoulder plate. Light touch. Normal. Sayalri's sensors whirred. She tilted forward. Equivalent of a nod. Shift ended. Evan trailed Sayalri to stores. Bay 9 needed recalibrators for next repair. R. Flutine / Clerk behind counter stiffened. 4 witnesses loitered 2 Cathari traders. A Vexel mechanic. Hurok's aide. Sayalri extended a data chit. Recalibrator array. Serial. 47B. Clerk's eyes flicked to her markings. Blackened etchings on her exoshell. Denied. Outcast requisition invalid. Witnesses murmured. Trader tails flicked disdain. Sayalri's mandibles stilled. Logged need. Bay 9 output quota. Tradition. Clerk shoved chit back. Fetch your own. Evan stepped up. Liaison override. Process it. Clerk sneered. Sayalri retreated. Tentacles coiled inward. Evan pulled his pad. Noted. Witnesses confirmed. He scanned faces. Logged timestamps. We'll formalize. Sayalri led him away. Silent. Back at Bay 9, Evan synced his pad to station net. Typed requisition. Cultural liaison, Evan Mercer. Operator. Technician Sayalri. Bay 9. Item. Recalibrator array. 47B. Justification. Emergency conduit repair. Exceeded quota. 22%. Cross-species equity charter. Clause 4.2. Submit. Approval pinged. Issued. Sayalri watched from her bench. Alone, as always. Why? Practical. Evan pocketed pad. Keeps output high. Her sensors pulsed blue. Curiosity. Alarm chimed. Requisition cancelled. Dockmaster Hurok. Authority override. Tradition. Supersedes. Evan snorted. Pulled up logs. Time-stamped everything. Store's refusal. Witnesses. His filing. Escalation form loaded. Interspecies compliance board. Attach. Video from stores. Bay 9 metrics. Charter fine print. Submit. Mira poked her head in. Heard the ping. Hurok again. Evan nodded. Sayalri rose. Follow. She slipped into a side passage. Maintenance nook. Dim lights. Tool racks shadowed. Evan ducked in. Space tight. Her scent ozone and metal filled it. She faced him. Mandibles parted slow. Branded for this. Touched her etchings. Repaired elder ship. Core breach. Saved clan. But touched forbidden relic inside. Ancestor taboo. Outcast. Evan leaned against bulkhead. No pity nod. Logged? She clicked. Affirmative. Paper trail? Building one. He tapped pad. Station answers now. Sayalri's tentacles uncurled. Reached out. Brushed his sleeve. Light. Testing. Door hissed. Mira entered. Compliance pinged back. Hearing in 10. Hurok's furious. Evan straightened. Good. Sayalri gathered tools. We go? Team. Evan led out. Hearing chamber buzzed. Hurok at podium. Elders flanked 3 Cathari with silvered carapaces. Witnesses from stores sat rigid. Compliance officer, a neutral Vexel. Activated hollow. Requisition dispute. Liaison Mercer. Evan stood. Filed under authority. Operator Sayalri qualified. Refusal violates charter. Hurok lashed tail. Tradition. Outcast taints. Tools. Elder leaned forward. Metrics? Hollow bloomed. Bay Nove output. 22%. Station total. Post-collaboration spike. Salery stepped up. Sensors steady. Repaired conduit. Saved bay. Clerk fidgeted. She serves alone, Mira added from sidelines. Human delegation. Protests. Isolation. Equity. Mandatory. Elder eyes narrowed. Precedent. Evan slid pad forward. Logs attached. Store's refusal. Witnesses. Cancellation without cause. Logs attached. Croast. Vexel officer scanned. Charter clear. Requisition reinstated. Issue tool. Penalty log for clerk. 231. 5. 2. Hurok's claws dug deck. Elders. Deliberate. Elder waved dismissal. Chamber cleared. Saelri received chit. Validated. Outside, she flexed tentacles. Evan grinned. Paper beats prejudice. Mira slapped his back. Next? Saelri tilted. Meal? They walked to galley. Benches filled. No gaps this time. Trays clinked side by side. Hurok watched from afar. Tail still. Next shift. Saelri hailed Evan. New fail. Subgrid 7. He sprinted. She waited at hatch. Tools ready. No block. Together, they dove in. Tentacles and hands synced. Fixed in minutes. Crew murmured. Output holds. Evan wiped sweat. Normal. Saelri's mandibles spread wide. Trust. But Hurok approached post-shift. Warriors absent. Elders shift. Bay 9. Shared. Evan paused. Progress. Hurok's eyes gleamed. Watch. He turned away. Saelri stiffened. Sensors red. Evan checked pad. New alert. Compliance review. Full audit. Mira calmed. Incoming. Big one. Evan nodded to Saelri. Ready? Her tentacle gripped his arm. Firm. Together. Station hummed. Choice loomed larger. Store's clerk slid the recalibrator across counter next cycle. No witnesses. Eyes down. Saelri took it. No words. Evan logged delivery. Chain complete. In Nook later, Saelri unpacked. Evan shrugged. Solvable. You fix station. I fix rules. Evan shrugged. Lookman today. Lookman today. I fix rules. I fix drug day. Evan shrugged. You fix station. Evan shrugged. You fix station. Evan shrugged. I fix rules. Evan shrugged. Evan shrugged. Evan shrugged. Evan shrugged. She clicked soft. Shared ration bar. Alien texture crisp, spiced. He bit. Chewed. Good. Tentacles brushed again. Longer hold. Galley filled fuller. Cathari edged closer. Watched. One trader nodded. Silent. Hurok's aide lingered. Noted. Audit day dawned. Compliance team docked. Scanners out. Hurok led. Bay 9. First. Evan and Saelri stood ready. Tools synced. Team scanned. Output verified. Collaboration logged. Vexel head nodded. Exemplary. Hurok's tail twitched. Outcast. Operator. Elder voice from comm. Reassign full crew. Station-wide ping. Saelri's sensors flared green. Mandibles wide. Evan grinned. Normalcy wins, but Hurok cornered him later. Empty corridor. You force this. Metrics did. Evan held gaze. Hurok leaned close. Breath hot. Elders fracture. Some. Resist. Threat hung. Evan tapped pad. Logged encounter. Saelri commed. He ran. Choice. Sharpened. Alarms shrieked through the station corridors. Red lights pulsed. Coolant smoke billowed from Bay 17. Thick and acrid. Stinging Evan's eyes as he sprinted toward it. Saelri's comm still echoed in his ear. Subgrid. Alert. Urgent. He slapped his pad for diagnostics. Auxiliary line rupture. Lockdown engaged. Her bay sealed. Shouts erupted behind him. Mercer, Bay's quarantined. Outcast zone. Dockmaster Hurok's voice boomed over the intercom. Evacuate! No entry! Evan ignored it. He yanked a respirator from the wall rack, sealed it over his face, and punched the override on the bay door. Pressure seals hissed. Smoke poured out. He plunged inside. Sayelri crouched amid sparking conduits, her iridescent exoskeleton slick with frost from the leak. Tentacles whipped across a jury-rigged panel, mandibles clenched. One sensor stalk swiveled toward him. She clicked sharp surprise, warning. Human. Exit. Toxic. Talk me through it, Evan said. He dropped to his knees beside her, toolkit clanging open. Smoke clawed at his suit seals. The bay's vents struggled, overwhelmed. Her stalk flicked. Hesitation. Then, precise gestures. Clamp, main feed. Sector 4B. Patch rupture. Purge, secondary. Evan nodded. He traced the line with gloved hands, frost numbing his fingers. The rupture hissed, spraying blue vapor. He slammed a clamp wrench onto the feed valve, twisted hard. Metal groaned. Feed slowed to a drip. Patch. Sayelri directed. Her tentacles extended a sealant strip. Evan grabbed it, slapped it over the gash. Pressed firm. Adhesive, bonded with a sizzle. Timer, she barked. Mandible counters clicked down. Purge in 30. Vent pressure rising. Evan yanked the purge lever. Valves whirred. Coolant surged backward. Smoke thickened. Visibility dropping to arm's length. A secondary spark popped nearby. Sayelri's tentacle lashed out, snuffing it with an extinguisher burst. 10, she counted. Voice steady through the respirator feed. Evan braced the line. Pressure built. His arms strained. Holding. 5. 4. Her stalk locked on the gauges. Purge. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. He twisted the final valve. Fluid roared through. Smoke vented out in a geyser. Alarms shifted. Yellow caution now. Bay lights flickered green. Silence fell. Except for their heavy breaths. Sayelri's tentacles retracted slow. She tilted her head, mandibles parting in a soft whir. Saved. Station core intact. Evan peeled off his respirator, grinned through sweat. Team effort. The bay door slammed open. Hurok stormed in, flanked by 2 enforcers. His scaled tail lashed. Furrowed brow ridges locked on Sayelri. Outcast. Your negligence rupture in your bay. Lockdown breach. Confinement. Sayelri stiffened. Tentacles coiled tight. She stepped back, sensors dimming. Evan rose. Held up his pad. Log it first, Dockmaster. He tapped the screen. Sensor data scrolled. Pre-rupture strain logged by Sayelri at 0400. Alert sent immediately. Repair sequence time-stamped. Core temp stabilized manual intervention. Hurok snatched the pad. Scanned. Tail stilled. Assisted repair. Evan met his gaze. Log shows her countdown. Prevented cascade failure. Bay 17 feeds half the habitat ring. Enforcers shifted. 1 muttered into comms. Hurok thrust the pad back. Metrics. Always. Metrics. His eyes narrowed. Elders see this. They question my order. Evan pocketed the pad. Order holds when station runs. Sayelri clicked low. Tentacle brushed Evan's boot, brief. Grateful. Hurok spun. Clean up. Both of you. He stalked out. Enforcers followed. Evan exhaled. Turned to Sayelri. You good? Her stalk nodded. Disciplined. But. Thank. Mandibles flexed wider. Rare. They worked in tandem. Evan mopped residual frost. Sayelri recalibrated flows. Tools passed seamless. No words needed. Mira's comm buzzed as they finished. Evan, you alive? Hurok's raging on all channels. In one piece, he replied. Idiot. Taboos bite harder now. Pause. But, logs viral. Traders talking. Evan glanced at Sailri. She monitored final purges, tentacles precise. Heading to galley, he said. Join? Mira snorted. Backing you. Watch your six. He signed off. Bay doors cycled open. Smoke cleared fully. Station hum returned, vents purring. Lights steady. Sailri paused at threshold. Galley? Public? Evan shrugged. Metrics say exemplary. Walk with me. Her sensors flared brighter. Tentacle extended, hooked his elbow. Light grip. They stepped into corridor. Crew paused. Cathari engineer stared. Traders whispered. One human nodded sharp. No shouts. No shuns. Evan kept pace. Sail rematched. Galley neared. But Hurok's aide lingered at junction. Pad out. Logged their path. Eyes cold. Evan noted it. Tapped his own pad. Logged back. Galley doors hissed. Shared rations waited. Normalcy edged forward. Salri's grip tightened. Persist? Always solvable. They entered. Heads turned. Cathari at counter slid 2 trays forward. No hesitation. Evan took his. Bit into crisp bar. Spice tang hit. Good. Sailri mirrored. Mandibles worked. Clicked content. Mira waved from table. Sit. Before Hurok. Audits lunch. Evan laughed. They joined. Talk flowed repairs. Shifts. Sailri added tech specs. Precise. Traders drifted closer. Questions came. How'd you clamp that line? Evan pointed. Her countdown. My wrench. Nods rippled. 1 alien extended claw. Sailri accepted. Tentacle met claw. Firm. Evan watched. Prejudice cracked 1 grip at a time. But comm pinged private. Hurok. Elder descent grows. Your normalcy. Invites fracture. Cease. Evan deleted it. Logged. Choice. Loomed. Subgrid hummed stable. Later shift. Evan patrolled grids. Sailri's bay quiet. He checked in. All green? Optimal. She unpacked new recalibrator his delivery chain. Tentacles danced. Human aid. Extraordinary. 7. 7. 7. Practical. He leaned on bulkhead. You fix the impossible. I fix the rest. Her stalk tilted. Amusement whir. Bond forms. Footsteps echoed. Mira appeared. Hurok's pushing re-audit. Elders split some praise logs. Others cite tradition. Evan straightened. We stack more wins. Sailri nodded. Together. Mira eyed the pair. You're changing rules. Careful. Rules bend, Evan said. Station runs. Night cycle dimmed lights. Evan bunked near auxiliary. Dreams short smoke. Clamps. Grips. Morning alert. Minor flux in Bay 9. Sailri's old haunt. He calmed. On it. Wait. Her voice firm. Joint log. They met at Bay. Tools synced. Flux clamped fast. Hurok observed from afar. Word spread. Galley fuller. Cathari shared tools. Traders nodded hellos. 1 cycle, stores clerk grinned. For Sailri. No charge exemplary discount. Evan logged. Chain grew. Hurok cornered Mira in corridor. Evan overheard from Nook. Control your human. Outcast taints. Mira crossed arms. Taints? She saves bays. He assists. Metrics don't lie. Hurok growled. Tradition does. Evan stepped out. Log the save. Dockmaster. Or the fracture. Hurok whirled. You. Us. Sailri emerged behind. Tentacles ready. Standoff. Hurok backed first. Elders decede. He fled. Station pinged. Full review cleared. Collaboration standard. Sailry's sensors blazed. Normalcy wins. Evan grinned. But Aid's shadow lingered. Descent brewed. Next alert loomed. Bigger. Evan ran toward it. With her. Hurok slammed his console. Salri. Exterior hull shift. Solo. Now. Evan froze mid-stride in the corridor. His toolkit clanged against his thigh. Sailry's comm pinged beside him. Her tentacles stiffened. She met his eyes, blue sensors flickering. Denied, Evan said into his own comm. Reassign me too. Hurok's growl crackled back. Human. This is Cathari business. Hull works hazardous. Outcast duty. Evan tapped his pad. Waiver form loaded. He thumbed signature. Waiver signed. Joint log. Sending. Silence stretched. Then. Approved. Airlock 7. Suits. Mandatory. Sailry's vents word soft. Unnecessary risk. Humans fragile. Evan shouldered his kit. Team fixes faster. Walk. They suited up in the prep bay. Evan checked seals on her rig, extra padding over her sensor nodes. She mirrored him, tentacles precise on his clasps. Airlock cycled. Vacuum hummed beyond. Crew milled near the hatch. Cathari workers shot glances. One bulky tech scarred frills. Nameplate Vorik blocked Sailry's path. Outcast. Back berth. Sailry sidestepped. Vorik shoved. Her suit skidded toward the open lock. Evan lunged. Shoulder checked Vorik. Vorik whirled. Fists balled. Evan planted feet. Palm hit chest comm. Security. Code 4 to 7. Airlock 7. Assault in progress. Vorik lunged. Sailry yanked Evan sideways. Tentacles coiled his arm, pulled him into a gear alcove. Vorik bellowed past. Security drones whirred in. Lights flashed. Vorik pinned. Cuffs snapped. Sailry released. Sensors dimmed. Reckless. Sailry's. Reckless. 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 Evan straightened suit. She vented. Led him to airlock proper. Cycle hummed. Stars wheeled outside. Hull work waited. Micrometeor scars peppered the plating. Flux vents hissed trace plasma. Evan clipped tether. Start at fracture line. You scan. I patch. Sailry nodded. Sensors swept. Weak seal. Port side. Radiation spike. They crawled. Zeroga made every move deliberate. Evan sprayed foam hardener. Sailry's tentacles welded seams faster than any torch. Halfway. Her comm buzzed. Hurok direct. Sailry. Abort. Return solo. Evan keyed in. Patch at 60%. Delay fractures. Station. Human out. Hurok snapped. Elders rule. Outcasts exile grade. Hull. Permanent. Sailry's grip tightened on beam. Understood. No. Evan sealed last patch. Green lights bloomed. Log. Complete. We're done. They jetted back. Airlock pressurized. Vorik's crew glared from afar. Mira waited inside. Arms crossed. Heard the code. Hurok's livid. Elders. Auditing your waiver. Evan stripped helmet. Metrics clear. Hull. Secure. Sailry peeled suit. Sensors low. Isolation returns. Custom binds. Not yet. Evan grabbed a ration bar from his kit. Split it. Offered half. Eat. Then we log joint. She hesitated. Took it. Mandibles clicked soft. Ate. Corridor chatter hushed as they passed. Cathari eyes followed not all hostile. One. Nodded. Hurok stormed up at bay exit. Tail lashed. You defy. Sailry to exterior permanent. Human reassigned core. Evan stepped forward. Sign me exterior 2. Permanent. Hurok blinked. Frills flared. Insane. Humans out there. I. Waiver covers it. Evan pulled pad. Team or solo? Sailry's tentacles brushed his elbow. Firm. Hurok snarled. Elders first. Pending. He stalked off. Mira pulled Evan aside. Taboo's cracking. But Vorik's crew? They're arming petitions. Real pushback. Evan nodded. Stack wins. Normal fixes it. Night cycle fell. Evan bunked near hull access. Alerts pinged minor debris field inbound. He calmed, Sailry. Joint? Affirm. Her voice warmed. Dawn cycle. They suited again. But dockside, elders waited. Robes stiff. Hurok smirked beside. Outcast verdict. Lead elder intoned. Hull. Exile. No contact. Sailry bowed. Sensors. Dark. Evan unclipped kit. Include me. Murmurs rippled. Elder-eyed waver. Human folly. Logic. Evan held gaze. Saves bays. Metrics prove. Vorik pushed forward. Taint spreads. Petition granted. Expel both. Crowd growled. Shove started. Sailry tensed. Pulled Evan back. Into shadow nook. By bulkhead. Drones hummed security late. Her tentacles framed his face. Sensors blazed close. Kessar. One word. Vents pulsed hot. Evan stilled. Meaning? Bond. Life debt. Kethari oath. I guard. Crowd surged. Mira's voice cut. Back. Humans log everything. Security arrived. Lasers hummed. Elders retreated. Hurok whirled. Kessar? Forbidden. Saelry faced him. Logged. Binding. Evan grinned under helmet. Team permanent. Station pinged. Debris. Alert. Escalated. Hull breach risk. They jetted out together. Tethers linked. Mira calmed. Elders splitting. Your bond's viral. But Vorik's rabid watch flanks. Evan patched incoming scar. Sailry scanned ahead. Flank secure. Debris pinged suits. Sparks flew. They welded through. Back inside, galley buzzed. Cathari shared benches. Tools passed free. One trader slipped Saelry a glow crystal. Bond worthy. Hurok watched from door. Tail still. Evan logged shift. Chain unbreakable. But Vorik's glare lingered in the vents. Petition whispered. Sabotage. Hull. Feeds. Next flux loomed. Bigger. Targeted. Evan checked seals. Saelry at his side. Kessar holds. They moved out. Bond sealed. Station trembled. Sailry's stylus trembled above the datapad. Evan nudged it closer. Your incident report. File it yourself. Logs don't lie. Her sensors flickered, scanning his face. Cathari eyes darted to the bay entrance. Vorik's shadow lingered there, tail twitching. Other techs paused welds, vents hissing steam. Untouchable, she whispered. Custom binds. Evan pulled a stool beside her console. Metal scraped loud. He sat, shoulder brushing her coiled tentacle. Gasps echoed. A tech dropped a spanner. Not here. Evan said. Station protocol. All reports verified. Witnesses back you. He tapped the screen. Debris patch. Your scan saved the hull. Sailry's vents pulsed. She signed. Pad chimed acceptance. Vorik snarled from the door. Pollution logged. Evan stood. Compliance confirmed. Check central logs. Tex murmured. One nodded. Passing Saelry a tool without flinch. She gripped it. First in cycles. Mira's voice crackled over comms. Briefing in 10. Mixed crews. Maintenance flux prep. Evan's slotting leads. Evan grinned. Sailry heads demo. Her scans nailed last breach. Sailry froze. Me? Exposed? Team, he said. Bond words sealed it. Briefing chamber hummed. Mira paced the front, human boots thudding deck. Cathari, Vorl, even a hulking Groon squeezed in. Hurok loomed at back, tail rigid. Flux incoming, Mira barked. Bigger debris swarm. Targeted feed suspect. Eyes flicked to Vorik. Protocol. Cross-checks. No solos. Evan raised hand. Sailri leads hull demo. Patched the scar solo scan. Murmurs rose. Sailri uncoiled. Tentacles linking holo projector. Breach sim flared. Twisting metal. Venting atmo. Her sensors danced, plotting vectors. Weak seals here. Weld sequence. Counter twist. Pulse cool. Grun grunted approval. Vorl Trader leaned in. Precise. Faster. Then auto. Mira nodded. Adopt her flow. Saves bays. Hurok's tail lashed. Outcast leads. Taboo fractures order. Chamber tensed. Vorik smirked. Evan tapped his pad. Logs open. Witness statements. 12 techs verify her patch. Compliance metrics up 14%. Post-bond. He projected charts. Green spikes. Isolation slowed repairs. This accelerates. Hurok scanned data. Tail stilled. Findings. Noted. He whirled out. Vorik followed. Glare burning. Sailri's sensors dimmed. You countered. Evan shrugged. Fact stack. Carry on. Mira clapped Sailri's shoulder. Solid. Vorik's petition flops now. But watch vents, he's rabid. Shift ended. Galley doors hissed. Mess hall packed. Cathari benches clumped tight. Trays steaming synth protein. Grunts and hisses filled air. Vorik held court at edge table. Whispering. Sailri paused at threshold. Evan grabbed 2 trays, her glow crystals, and his rations. Central table. Open. She stepped in. Tentacles straight. Crowd hushed. She walked past edge clusters. Picked the dead center bench. Saturday. Claimed it. Trays clattered as Evan set them down. He slid beside her. Again. Eyes locked. Cathari flinched. One trader rose halfway, then sat. Vorik's tail froze mid-lash. Sailri speared a crystal. 8. Slow. Public. Evan chewed ration. Good pick. A Vorl edged closer. Scan share? Flux prep. Sailri nodded. Pass tool. Ripple spread. 2 Cathari shuffled over. Bond demo? Evan logged bytes. Normal. Hurok watched from door. Silent. Vorik slipped out. Toward vents. Station groaned. Flux ping escalated. Sabotage whisper. Hit comms. Feeds cut. Evan tensed. Sailri's tentacle brushed his arm. Kessar holds. They stood. Trays abandoned. Teams formed around them. Mixed. Debris loomed. Sailri strode into the crowded mess hall. This time, she picked the central seat. Evan matched her pace. Trays balanced. Cathari head snapped up. The hall's hum died to whispers. Vorik's clique at the far wall went rigid. Tails coiling like springs. She sat. Tentacles splayed across the bench. Claimed space. No outcast. Touched. In years. Evan set her tray first, glow crystals shimmering under lights. His rations next. He dropped beside her, knee-bumping tentacle. Casual. Gasps rippled outward. A Groon paused mid-bite. Massive jaws parted. Sailri selected a crystal. Crunched, deliberate. Juice dripped. She met stares. Vorik shoved up. Taint centers. Hurok. Dockmaster hovered at entrance, claws tapping datapad. He eyed the scene. Logged. Evan swallowed ration. Open seats. Protocol clear. Mira calmed from bay. Vorik's feeds tampered. Flux hits in 20. Your demo team's assembling. Sailri's sensors flared. She rose halfway, tray untouched by others. Teams now. Teams now. Traders nodded. A Kethari female first ever slid tray across gap. Share scan? Sailry linked datapad. Vectors bloomed. Hall leaned in. Hurak cleared vents. Order. Evan cut in. Compliance log. Her lead boosted metrics. Witnesses filed. He projected from wrist unit. Charts glowed. Prejudice slows. This saves station. Hurok's tail drooped. Forex snarled, but backed. Evan had started it hours back. Repair console. Post debris. Sailry hunched over her pad. Tentacles knotted. Your report, he'd said. Taboo, she'd hissed. Sensors dimmed. He dragged stool over. Sat close. Heat from her vents warmed his arm. Techs gawked. Station rules. Evan pressed.